Number 3, exogenetic process, part 1. That day we have completed 2 types of weathering. That was mechanical, yes, and chemical weathering we have started. So we are going to start from chemical weathering. Okay, let's get started for today's session. See, to understand this chemical weathering, we have seen the 2 activities about the chalk activity, how it get dissolves, the particles are being separated, and the second activity was about this. Yes, in the wet cloth for 2 days you have to keep the nails, and what will be the result or what will be the changes, what are the reasons for the stains that we have learned. Now after that, in this chemical weathering, there are some reasons why the chemical weathering occurs that we are going to learn today. Yes, as in the chemical weathering, student, water plays an important role. Yes, we can say that in the chemical weathering, water takes important place also, and without water, chemical weathering can't be happen. So as we all know that rock is a mixture of many minerals. As we have know this, rock is made up of many different types of minerals. Water is a universal solvent. Many things get dissolved easily in the water. The solubility increases because the matter has dissolved in the water. And those materials which do not dissolve easily in water get dissolved in such other solutions. In areas that receive heavy rainfall, chemical weathering occurs in the following way. So what they have said here, that many things easily, if you want to get dissolved easily in the water, it will be dissolved. Yes, and if if any, you can say the minerals or any materials, it doesn't dissolve in the water, then it will get dissolved in such other solutions. That is known as chemical weathering. Now for that, how the chemical weathering occurs, there are some reasons, or we can say the following ways. What are the ways that we will study first? First way is carbonation. First way is carbonation. Yes, when the rainwater travels through the atmosphere before reaching the ground. Now, for this chemical weathering, you have to keep one thing in your mind about water. Chemical weathering is related with the water. So, keep this word in your mind and easily you will understand the concept. Now see, when the rain falls, yes, that time when the rain drops down on the ground. But before that, it travels to the atmosphere. It travels to the atmosphere, and on the same time, carbon dioxide in the air, it gets mixed up in the water. Yes, when the raindrops falls down before reaching the ground, what happens? Atmosphere. Atmosphere means the air which travels, which move in various directions. That time carbon dioxide get mixed up in the water vapor, and that time what it forms, that is known as dilute carbonic acids. Dilute carbonic acids gets formed. So this materials like limestones, they get easily dissolved in such other acids. For years, they have given the solution. You can see water plus carbon dioxide is equal to carbonic acid. Yes, if when with the water carbonic with the water carbon dioxide gets mixed up, you will see that is carbonic acid, means H2CO3. So this was about the carbonation. This is the first way to occur chemical weathering. First reason we can say. Now second is solution. Second is solution. Some minerals in the rock get dissolved in water. Yes, as we have studied just now, some minerals, they easily get dissolved in the water and some not. So for that, limestone is formed due to chemical precipitation between water and alkalines. Now, sometimes what happen, there are some minerals in the rock, they get easily dissolved in the water. But due to this, what will happen between the water and alkaline? Between the water and alkaline means what we have studied before only at the starting of the chapter. Alkaline means it is having an effect, or we can say a chemical behavior which is opposite to the acid, that is known as alkaline. Yes, when the water and alkaline it gets mixed up, you can see this type of solution in the rock. At Vadgaon Darya in Ahmednagar district, limestones get precipitated chemically, that undergoes chemical weathering again. Similarly, because of solution, alkaline in the rock dissolve and make them brittle. Because of this solution, when water and alkaline get mixed up, due to this chemical weathering, it occurs. And similarly, uh, when it start get dissolving, means this, now see, this is this rock, the rock you can see on your screen, you can see it is dissolving. Yes, and then it makes them, then the rock gets brittle. Brittle means breakable. Now the rock is ready to be breakable. That is known as the solution. This is the second way of chemical weathering to occur. Next is about oxidization. Now, what is oxidization? As you can see the image, with the image, we can easily understand what is oxidization. This process occurs in rock which have iron present in them. The oxidization process occurs when the rock have iron present in them. If in the rock there is iron, you can see oxidization process. The iron in the rock comes in contact with water and chemical reaction takes place between iron and oxygen. Yes, when there is a when the sorry, when the iron is in contact with the water, that time chemical reaction takes place between iron and oxygen. That time you can see this type of reddish color layer on the rock. That time you can see, yes, there is a chemical weathering, and here oxidization process can be seen easily. Then, hence reddish colored layer forms on the rock. This is called rust. This is known as rust. As see this example, we can see at our home also. Yes, we have a grill. Yes, to the windows, to the we have the safety doors. Also in the balcony, we have the grills. Yes, during the rainy season, it starts get rusting. Yes, you can see that the reddish color layer on the grills. So because of this oxidization and when the iron gets mixed up, or you can say when it comes in contact with the water, that time we can see the chemical reaction. So this is called as rust. Yes. Then we have seen one activity also before it. We have kept in the wet cloth nails for 2 days. After 2 days, we have to observe that. So what did, when you kept the nails in the wet cloth, you must have noticed a similar thing. Similar process occurs in rocks in areas with high rainfall. There are many more processes involved in chemical weathering besides the one is mentioned above. Means like this. This was just one example of rusting, but there are many more reasons of chemical weathering are there. The one we have studied. Okay. So here also see in daily life examples, including moistening of table salt in rainy season, apple slice, turning apple slice. When we cut the apple slice during the rainy season, you can see after some time it will turn brown. So this is the example of chemical weathering. So here we have studied about the oxidization. Yes. The third type of weathering, that is biological weathering. Biological weathering. Now we have till now what we have studied. We have studied the first type of chemical weathering. Second, we have studied first type of weathering, that is mechanical, and second is chemical weathering. Now we are going to move on for the third type of weathering, that is biological weathering. Yes. Now what is biological weathering? Biological weathering, it is about the living organisms. Yes, means like insects. About the insects we are going to learn in this biological weathering. How because of this living organism, how the biological weathering occurs, that we are going to study. Yes, besides mechanical and chemical weathering, biological factors are responsible for weathering of rocks. See, besides mechanical and chemical, there are some biological factors which are responsible of weathering of rocks. Means both this means we can say in short that all the three types of weathering, they are responsible for weathering of rocks. Now, have you visited any fort? Have you seen trees growing on myriads? You also must have seen pieces of rock getting separated because of the roots of the trees. As the roots go bigger, they create tension in the rock and start breaking them. Now, with the image, we can easily understand. See, there is an old temple over there. You can see on the temple, there are the roots. There are the roots you can see. So, as the roots of the trees will grow bigger and bigger, it will create the tension. It will create the pressure on the rock. Yes, it will create the pressure, tension on the rock. So that's why when the tension will be there on the rock, it will start breaking. It will start breaking the rock. Means you can see there is a heavy weightage on the rock. You can see on the temple. Then due to this reason, student, the rock will start breaking. Yes, because of the tension in the rocks. So this is about the biological weathering. Next, ants make Ants make large anthills, rats, mice, rabbits, and other worms. And insects make burrows in the ground. Yes, now as these insects like ants make the ant hills, rat, mice, and rabbits, they and small insects, they may make burrows in the ground. These animals are called burrowing animals. Because of their activity, weathering of rock occurs. Beside this, algae, moss, lichen, other flora, etc., grow in the rock. They also help in weathering. Because of why they have said here, this type of animals, they make their ant hills, they make their homes like burrows in the ground. Due to this, also what will happen? This is the activity of weathering of rock will occur. Then there is also another reason. Beside that, when we keep this aside, there is also algae, moss, lichen, and other types of flora which grows in the rock. They also help in weathering. Now, what is moss and lichen? What is moss here? Moss means, students, which you can see in this. You can see this image. This is known as moss example. Moss means a very small green or yellow plant that grows on the rock. That is known as moss. It is flowerless plant, students, and they are very small. Yes. And lichen means what? Lichen means it is a fungi algae, student, and it can be either a green or a blue green algae. And in very simple words, we can understand that small plants that grow on the rocks, or we can say on the roots also, that is known as algae. And this lichen means what? It's like a fungus. It's like a fungus. It's a very slow growing plant. That is, in other word, we can call it as fungus. So this is the example of first image. You can see this is the example of lichen, and this is moss, and this is algae. So this type of biological weathering can be seen on the rocks. It grows in the rocks. This also help in weathering. This is the example of biological weathering. Yes. Now next is mass movement and mass wasting. Now, what is mass movements? We are going to learn this. The weathered rock materials start moving along the slopes due to gravity and accumulate near the foothills or the gentler slopes. This process has been happening for years. The weathered particles form a colonical heap at the foothills. When weather particles move down due to gravity alone, the process is called mass movements. Mass movements occurs in two ways. It is rapid on steeper slope, while it is slower on gentle slopes. Now, what is mass movement? See, student, let's take an example over here. When we are standing here at the top of this, when we are standing here, okay, at this mountain, when we throw the stone from where we are standing at the top, at the top of the mountain, when we throw the stone down, due to the gravity, it will go down. And how the speed will be of that object? The speed will be more. The speed will be more. So this, when the weather particles also move down to the gravity alone only, then this process is called mass movements. This process is called as mass movements. Other example also we can take it like landslides. Yes, this landslides also we are going to study further. So what is mass movements? When the particles which move down due to the gravity, this process is known as mass movements. Yes, then now the mass movements have two types. What are the two types? Two types, that is steeper slope and gentle slopes. Now, steeper slope means what, student? When steeper slope means when we are standing at the high at the high level. Yes, we are standing at the mountain, or we are standing at the foothills at the top of the mountain here. That due to the gravity, due to the gravity, the movement will be more. Yes, that is the steeper slope. And see, the gentle slope means what? When there is a flat surface, not the mountain is not too high. Yes, you can see the flat surface over there. When you are standing here and when you throw the stone, it will start rolling slowly, slowly. Com- not in not in fast process, but slowly the stone will flow down, because there is a very gentle slope, that is not a steeper slope. This is the difference between steeper slope and gentle slope. We'll learn more. Yes. Now see this rapid mass movements. Now what is rapid mass movement? In the mass movements, there are two types, that is rapid mass movements and slower mass movements. Now what is rapid? It is as same it as steeper slope, student. Steeper slope means rapid mass movements, and gentle slope means slower mass movements. The meaning is same, but the wordings are different. So what is rapid mass movements now? Rock falls, landslides, land subsides occurs rapidly. Yes, now it is, you can say there is a heavy rainfall, rainy season only. Due to this, in the news also we are, now also we can see there is a this type of movements occurs, landslides, land subsides. Yes, so this is the reason of the biological weathering and the rapid mass movements. Now, due to the rapid mass movements, what happens? Rock falls, landslides, sometimes land will subside on the place only. So there is the effect, and its effect is very destructive. Yes, people's, they lost their life, their property. So this is very destructive type of movement. The probability of these events is more in the regions having humid climates and steeper slope. Humid climate means what? When there is a lot of moisture in the air. When there is lot of moisture in the air and it is humid outside. That when the humidity is the state of air when it is full of water vapor. That is known as humid climate. And you just humid climates means the areas, sea coast areas. Humid climate means, keep it in your mind, sea coast areas. The probability of these events is more in the region having the humid climates and steeper slopes. Means the when there is a steeper slope, just now we have seen like this. When there is a steeper slope, student, this type of mountain, that time the probability of rapid mass movements occurs more in the region. Means rapid mass movement with rock falls, landslide, it and land subside. So this type, when there is a steeper slope, this movements can be seen. A thick layer of weather material forms on the slope. When it rains in such areas, the rainwater penetrates the weathered material and their weight is increased. The weathered material move very rapidly and come down slope. Just example is like this mud slide at Malin village of Pune district. Sometimes the weathered material do not move downward, but it sink. That is in situ. In situ, where they are. This is called slumping. This is called as slumping. Such rapid mass movements may also occur because of earthquakes. Now, see, the image you can see this is the landslides. Landslides means what, student? When there is a heavy rainfall, due to the heavy rainfall and the rainwater and other materials, when that time the weightage of that material increases, then due to the rain also and the material weight, it will occur landslides. Example they have given, yes, about the Malin village. This is the actual image you can see of Pune district. There also there was a now also there is a village, student, but uh, below the mountain there was the Malin village, and due to this type of season, due to this type of rainy season, the rapid mass movement occurs. That is landslide. Sometimes the weather material do not move downward. Sometimes what happen, if there is a weightage of the material is more and heavy rainfall, that time it will occur landslide. But what happens sometimes, the material of the weathered materials, means you can say the soil, rocks, when they can't be able to move it from in the other directions, that time uh, they will the land will be subsides, means there only it will go down. So that is known as slumping, means this one. If they can, why? Because they cannot move it in downward. That's what they sink it. They where they are. That is known as slumping. So this is the image. Such rapid mass movement may also occur because of earthquakes. Yes, rapid mass movements occurs because of the earthquakes also. So this was the example of rapid mass movement, that is rock falls, landslides and land subsides. In that we have studied about the slumping, means there only they will sink it on the same place where they are. Now we are going to learn about the slower mass movement. Now what is slower mass movement? Slower mass movement means in areas with dry climates, gentler slope mass movements occurs very slowly. Soil creep is a common phenomena in such areas. In periglacial regions along the slope, small layers of soil accumulate because of the movement of soil. This is called as soliflution. This is called as soliflution. Now, Slower mass movements means this area, the image you can see on your screen, as the area, in this areas you can see the dry climate, students, and the slope is very gentle slope. You can see there is a gentle slope, and in this movement, in this type of area, mass movements occurs very slowly. Now, soil creep is a common phenomena in such areas. In periglacial region means cold area, student. In the cold regions also, you can see there is a small layers of soil which comes together because of the movement of the soil. Yes, when there is a heavy, you can say there is a huge, when there is air in the atmosphere, there is a wind. Along with the wind, student, you can see they will carry the soil also, and the movement of the soil in this area can be seen more in, and this is called as soliflution. This is called as soliflution. Now, after this, after the soliflution, we are going to learn about the erosion. Like weathering, first, what is erosion? Let's understand that. What is erosion? Erosion means what, student? It is a process of eroding or being eroded by wind, water, or other natural agent. That is known as erosion. Due this erosion process, it is very natural. Yes, natural forces means like what? Water, wind, ice, this, and gravity transport rocks and soil. It is a geological process and it is a part of the rock cycle that is known as erosion. In this lesson, erosion takes place. See here, while weathering and mass movement, erosion is also an external process. Erosion occurs through various agents: wind, running water, glaciers, seawater, and groundwater cause erosion. We will study the agents of erosion and the landforms produced by them in the next lesson. Now, to learn more in detail about the erosion, chapter number 4 is about the erosion only. Means like weathering, like mass movement, erosion is also one part of external process. Yes, and there are 5 agents of erosion: water, wind, running water, glacier, seawater, and groundwater. These are the 5 agents of erosions that we are going to learn. And due to these agents of erosion, student, there are also new landforms are produced due to these agents of erosion. So that we are going to learn in the next chapter, that is chapter number 4. So what we have studied in this chapter number 3, now we are going to revise it point wise. And with the evaluation part also, we will understand more what we have studied in this chapter. Now let's revise. Yes. First, at the very first of this lesson, we have studied what is weathering. Weathering means breaking or weakening of rocks is a natural phenomena. It is called as weathering. And weathering is of three types. Mechanical means physical, and in the mechanical we have studied the 5 reasons about the temperature, frost, crystal growth, release of pressure and water. Second type of weathering, that is chemical weathering, which occurs with the 3 reasons: oxidization, carbonation and solution. Yes, this from here we have, from chemical we have studied today, and on Saturday we have studied this first type of weathering. Then we have studied the third type of weathering, that is biological, which leads to the living organisms. Biological occurs, why? Because of the living organism. In this we have studied about the algae, moss, lichen, and also we have studied about the mass movements. It means mass wasting. In this we have studied the 2 types of movements: rapid mass movements and slower mass movements. In the rapid mass movements we have studied about the rock falls, landslides and land subsides, example of Malin village. Yes, and in the slower mass movements, we have studied about the soliflution. Yes, the movement of the soil. We have studied the soliflution, that in the cold region, student, the small layers of soil which accumulates, which assembles, or which comes together because of the movement of soil. This is called as soliflution. We have studied this in the slower mass movement. Then at last we have studied about the erosion. Yes, there are 5 agents of erosion that we are going to learn in more detail in the next chapter. So this was about the for chapter number 3. Now we are going to see the evaluation part. Yes. Now see your student. You can see there is a flow chart over there. With this flow chart, we will cover once again all the important points of chapter number 3. Now see, there are 3 types of weathering: mechanical, chemical and biological weathering. Yes, in this mechanical, we have studied about the granule weathering, block integration, shattering, and also about the exfoliation. And in the chemical weathering, we have studied that there are the 3 reasons: carbonation, solution and oxidization. In the biological weathering, we have studied about the burrowing by animals, and second is breaking of rock, as the roots of trees grow bigger in the cracks of rock. Weathering due to growth of algae, moss, lichen in the rock. So this is what about the biological weathering. See, this type of flow chart can come in your for 2 marks in your exam. So in this way, you are going to write it in your exam. With this type of question can come, complete the flow chart below. They will give you few points, yes, in the column. Just you have to fill the remaining columns. So this was about the weathering process. It is one type of flow chart, student. Okay. Yes. Now it is about the evaluation part. You can see on your screen there is a match the following. Yes. A A column and B column. Option is given over there here. And this is the question. Block integration, burrowing animals, and oxidization. You have to identify its type of weathering. Okay. Now, block integration. Which type of weathering can be there? Let's see which student will answer the question. Those who know the answer, they can raise their hand. Yes, students have raised their hand. Yes, Ritika. Ritika. Okay. Who is ready to give the answer for this? Please raise your hand, student. Okay, students are raising their hand, but they are not ready to answer. Yes, Rehan Sheikh. Yes, Rehan Sheikh. What is the first answer? Block integration.
C.
No, not C1. That is biological. Biological
B
weathering.
का है teacher. B
Yes.
का है teacher.
Yes. Biological weathering will go for burrowing animals. Yes, this is the C reason. C1. Okay. Can you know the, yes, do you know the answer of A and C? Block integration and oxidization. No? Okay. You can mute your mic, Rehan Sheikh.
ये बन जाओ चलो को भगा सकते.
Rehan Sheikh, mute your mic. Yes. For the first, now we will solve student this. Yes, will solve this evaluation. Match the following student. Block integration will go with the mechanical weathering, and burrowing animals, biological weathering, and oxidization will go with the chemical weathering. So this was about the how to identify the type of weathering. You have to just keep the meaning of what is chemical weathering, mechanical and biological. Easily you will able to identify the type, and also you will be able to write the answer also. Okay, so thank you student. We have done this chapter number 3, exogenetic process part 1. I hope you have understood this lesson. I hope you have understood this lesson. Thank you, students. We'll see you for the next lecture. Sir,